host, Mr. Apex. I'm here with my guest,
Abel. What's up, everybody? How we doing? My brother.
What's going on, Abe? How you doing?
I'm good, man.
What's been new?
A lot, bro. I just got back from celebrating my 31st. Took a solo trip to Thailand.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday.
I appreciate you.
How was that?
It was amazing.
What you do over there in Thailand?
I went to Bangkok, Chiang Mai, and Phuket. So I was there for about a week. I did everything, man. I went with the tigers, Tiger Kingdom. I went bungee jumping and like elephant riding. I took them a bath, and then I just ate a lot. Went to see a bunch of temples and like touristy stuff. I didn't really like Bangkok too much, to be honest. There wasn't too much to do out there.
No?
No, if I had known, I would have just kept it to Chiang Mai and Phuket.
How's Phuket?
It was awesome. That's where I did most of the stuff. I went to the PP Islands, and then I did the whole. What else did I do out there? Yeah, that was pretty much the highlight of PP.
Okay. How was the food?
The food was alright. It wasn't nothing like to brag about, but it was alright.
I'm trying to look like octopus or nothing like that. No octopus.
No, I didn't try any of that. I didn't try
no eels. No cobras.
I kept it very decent.
Could be a lot of guys.
Yeah, nah.
Okay. So
The Tigers was dope. They say that they don't. They said they don't drug them. I don't know how true that is or not. They didn't look drugged to me, but a lot of people have said that they might kind of be drugged. But
so the Tigers didn't look drugged.
They didn't look drugged to me. Because you have to like take a little couple minute course before you go to the.
And what's the course about?
They're just telling you about the Tigers, what to expect, where not to touch them.
Where not to touch them at?
The head, don't touch the head, don't touch them anywhere like on the neck area. Pretty much from like their, I guess, shoulders down, you can touch them, and don't touch their paws.
Why not? Because what?
I don't know. I didn't ask any questions. They said don't touch. I just don't touch. I didn't ask why.
So you wasn't scared at all the whole time around the tiger?
I wasn't scared. There were certain moments where like I'm on guard because the tiger starts moving, and I just don't want to get caught slipping because it's still a wild animal at the end of the day. But for the most part,
did y'all hear this bad? So he don't want to get caught slipping. Like, he finna run from a big ass tiger.
Hey, I know where the exit is. I'm gonna make my way over there. Worst comes to worst.
I just record you. I've seen those shows where things go wrong.
Same.
Like animals attack.
Same. When it comes to exhilarating stuff, like I'm with everything. Like I'm gonna go swimming with the sharks in like 2 weeks. Like
that's fun though.
Free, no cage, no nothing.
No cage?
No cage. So I do stupid stuff like that.
No, I mean,
yeah.
It's adventurous. Some people may call that white people shit.
Yeah.
Hey. So, what about the bungee? So you went bungee jumping. How was that?
I went bungee jumping. I promised myself I would never bungee jump in my life. Like I've been skydiving and I said bungee jumping was not in the cards for me. But my tour guide, he actually I don't know how he talked me into doing it.
He sold you, basically.
He sold me. Like we went to the place, he's like, yo, just check it out. I'm gonna take you to this place. They got this and they got a bunch of other things. So he didn't really emphasize on the bungee. He talked about everything else. He's like, yo, just check it out. If you like it, cool. He made really nonchalant. So we get there and I start talking to the people. I'm like, yo, have there ever been any deaths on bungee jumping? They're like, no.
No deaths?
No deaths. And I'm like, okay. That gave me a little comfort. Then I'm like, okay, let me see a video, please. Let me see some videos of people who've done it.
How high?
They said 50 meters. Yeah, it's pretty high. It's pretty high. So they start showing me videos, and I'm watching the videos, and then my heart starts like pounding, and I'm like, oh snap, I don't know if I'm gonna do this. So then I start talking myself into it, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. Because at this point, I know it's my mind. Like it's all mental at this point.
It's all mental, huh?
It's all mental. It really is, and I know this. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I paid the money. It was like $70.
Wait. So you paid to go?
I paid.
Goddamn.
Yeah, I paid for it. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm gonna do it. So they start recording me. I got the whole video package or whatever. They tie me up. Boom, boom, boom. They recorded me, and I'm like talking to the camera. And like, yo guys, I'm about to go bungee jumping, and I'm like pumping myself up mentally. We go up to the top, And he's like, all right, so once we get up there, like get to the edge and just jump. He's like, don't look down, just jump. I get up to the top, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just go, cause I know the minute you think about the fall, you look down, you're gonna freeze, and I know this.
Yeah, but you already thinking about it already.
I'm already thinking about it.
Yeah.
I get to the edge, my stupid self, I look down.
That's not stupid. It's called common damn sense to survive.
I hear you, but once I did that, my feet,
They won't move.
they would not
The
move.
body's trying to live. It say this does not make sense. We don't
They
got
wouldn't
wings.
move, man. They wouldn't move, and I'm like trying to like, all right, I'm gonna do it, and I'm talking out loud. I'm like, I let my hands go, and he's like, yo, you want me to push you? I'm like, nah, don't push me. I'm gonna do it. I stand him down. I'm up there for like 15 minutes, and I'm like, yo, I can't.
Damn, 15 minutes.
15 minutes, and I'm like, yo, take me back down. And he's
sure.
doing his best to talk like, bro, you got this. Old ladies have done this, little kids have done this, and I'm like, yo, I can't do it. I'm like, yo, take me back down. So he takes me all the way back down. He's like, yo, you could try again if you want. I'm like, give me a few minutes. I'm gonna go after it. I'm gonna do it again.
He's a pep talk, huh?
So they had a bar there. So I was like, I took 3 shots of tequila. I was like, yo, I need a drink. So I took 3 shots of tequila, and I was like, yo, I'm ready to do this again. Let's go. I'm doing this. I'm not gonna think about it. Let's do it. They tie me up again. Go through the whole process. Go back up, and I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna think. Just jump. Like, don't even look down. Just as soon as we get, boom. I got a game plan in my head. I get up there. I get to the edge. I freeze again.
Damn.
And he's like, yo, bro, you got this. He's like, you need me to push you? I'm like, nah, I got this. And he's like, all right, if you don't go in like 2 minutes,
I'm gonna push you.
I'm gonna push you. And I'm like, okay. 2 minutes goes by. He's like, yo, just lift your hands up. And I'm like, just don't tell me when you're gonna push me. So I put my hands up. He pushes me.
I think that would scare me more being pushed than just jump. Push me. I'm like, what the hell?
It's like you have no time to think. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like it's the jump is what's the scariest thing. Because once you jump, it's out of your hands at that point. It's like you're going down, like no matter what. So once he pushed me, I couldn't breathe for like a good 20 seconds.
Damn, you couldn't breathe?
I couldn't, cause it's like you're going down. It feels like a roller coaster. I don't know how to explain it, but
describe jumping off a damn mountain like a roller coaster.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, after that, like it was pretty fun. Like we were just going back and forth, and boom, that was that.
Sounds very intense. So, tell us about your brand, Godspeed. See when the shirt there.
So yeah, I got a brand called Godspeed. I started it about a year and a half ago. And pretty much like the meaning behind it is like God will take you from where you are to where you're destined to be in a supernatural speed, which is His speed. And I feel like a lot of us, just speaking for myself, I always I wanted things on my timing, when that's not the way it works. Like we can only control our work ethic, but we can't control the timing. And I feel like in this generation, we want things right away. And it's like, as much as you want the things right now, there's certain things like God is putting you through. That's why you haven't received it yet. He's gonna give it to you on His timing. Just keep doing what you gotta do, and it's gonna come.
So basically, you feel like you're being tested. I guess like the way you're making it seem like person work hard enough, but you gotta be deserving of it.
Deserving of it, that is an aspect of it as well. But it's also ultimately on God's timing.
So tell us more about your businesses, your travels, and what other things you got in the works.
So like I said, I got the Godspeed brand that I've been pushing for the last year and a half. I just recently got into doing Airbnbs. I got my first property in April.
Where at?
It's in Nashville, Tennessee.
Why did you go to Nashville, not Florida?
I tried to do Florida
Okay.
when I first decided I wanted to get in, but it's just so hard. Florida is really kind of... Huh?
It's like what? It's packed, it's too busy?
It's not that it's packed, it's so many laws. They're kind of against Airbnbs. Like a lot of places, they don't like subleasing. They don't allow you to put anything under your business name. I'm sure there are some that do, but the ones that I was looking in the areas that I felt were prime areas,
Okay.
they weren't with it. And if I did do it, I would have to hide it and kind of be sneaky about it, and I didn't want to go like into something, you know.
So how is Nashville treating you?
It's been going great, and the reason why I chose Nashville to answer your question is my friend, who I actually learned, who's been doing Airbnb for the past almost 2 years.
Okay.
He's been killing the game, and I seen him just posting about it a lot and just having success, and then I was like, you know what, I want to find a way to start making money like that. And he already had 3 or 4 units in that same property where I'm at right now.
Okay.
And that was I just took his word for it. He's like, yo, this is it, boom, 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 this is what it's gonna cost. And I was like, yo, you making money from this? Yeah. And then I just pulled the trigger.
You just said, I'm going for it.
I went for it.
You went on faith.
I went on faith. It was nervous because it's a lot of money, you know, that you're putting up, and you still, as much facts as he can give me that he's making,
still like,
you just never know, because that's how business is.
Yeah.
You know, you make an investment, you can make it back, you can't. But it was more so like an educated decision type of thing, or just going based off him, honestly.
Okay, so like, are you looking to get some more properties
I am.
in the same spot, same state? What?
I'm actually looking into something right now. I don't want to talk too much because I haven't done it yet. I haven't
Oh man, you can't be doing
yet.
that like that. You gotta tell people something. You gotta give them like a little gem.
But I'm looking into getting like a condo.
Okay.
I'm debating if it's going to be in Nashville, but because I have a property out there, it might kind of work out to itself.
Okay.
Getting my first like actual property, so I'm looking into that right now.
What part of Nashville?
That downtown where I got this one at.
Okay. Yeah, that is prime, real. That's prime. It is prime down now. Very busy. Okay. So, do you see yourself finding the right person, the right lady, the like, gets to settle down with, have kids with, and be married?
I do.
You do.
I do.
And why is that in this day and time? With all like the stuff going on, you got like the gram, Facebooks, all these things that you got all these guys and ladies and things that's posting all type of stuff.
Because there's still good ones out there. I choose to believe that.
Okay.
I choose to believe there's still diamonds out there. There's still
Diamonds in the rough?
Diamonds in the rough, diamonds that are not in the rough, that just haven't been found yet. I got faith that she's out there somewhere. I just gotta find her. She gotta find me, or we gotta bump into each other at some point. But I got faith that it's gonna happen. On Godspeed.
Godspeed.
Godspeed, man.
We're gonna pray that happen.
Yeah,
Like
for
next
sure.
year.
For sure.
All right, so can you show us like your clothing line? You bring things of that nature? Did you bring anything?
Yeah, I got a couple of things here. I try to just bring some of the, like what I have on right now is the signature shirt. That's what
I see it,
that's what we came out with. That's got the definition on there. And it just says the speed that God will take you from where you are to where you're destined to be. The more faith you have, the faster he'll get you to that end result. So we got that. We got that in a few colors. And then we got like some jerseys, some things for the females. Like this is a female tank top right here. It's got abbreviation GDSPD, Godspeed.
You got no male tank top, man?
Not yet. I'm actually working on a collection, a sports collection right now that we're gonna come out with.
Like me in Florida, man. Florida tank top. Guns out.
But yeah, I got a bunch more other things, but everything's on the site. It's the GodspeedClothing.com. You can find everything over there. Bucket hats, socks, shorts.
With the IG page.
Instagram is Godspeed_clothing.
You got a Facebook page?
Facebook, Godspeed Clothing.
Okay. Cool. So, what would you tell the people about trying to start a business, getting started?
Fear is gonna hold you back more than majority of the times. It's gonna be the fear of the unknown.
Okay.
You don't know what you're getting into. You may not have enough knowledge, but I think what's helped me is that I'm not afraid of taking risks. I've lost money before. Like a lot of people see the success that I have and the moves that I'm making that are positive, but they don't see when I'm taking L's or when I'm losing money or the things that I haven't shared that went sideways. But it's a name of the game. And I feel like if you don't take a risk, you're kind of living at risk, because you either take that risk of going after what you want, or you play it safe and you continue to live how you're living now, which...
Like, are you single?
Yes.
Why's that?
I get that question a lot, and I don't really... It's gonna sound very vague, but I just haven't found the right person yet.
And what would be the right person?
The right person, in terms of just the whole package.
Just the whole package.
The right person for me, I think, would be somebody that has a good head on their shoulders, that they know where they're going. They don't have to be there right now, but at least they have a mental note of where they want to go. They have a game plan of what they want to do with their life, like
So
they're self-motivated.
So basically, like, the person have a vision.
That they have a vision for their life, correct. I mean, there's a lot of more layers to, like, personality details, like how you...
You explain.
So a big thing for me is, in any relationship, is your attitude. And when I say that, I mean, like, some of my red flags is no cursing. I mean that in a disrespectful way. Like, if we're joking around and you're like, yo, F this or whatever, like, that's cool. But it's when it's like coming from a place of you know,
Like anger.
like anger or any type of maliciousness. I don't.
You're condescending.
Yeah, I don't do well with that.
Okay.
And I feel like that's kind of toxic in a way, just cursing at each other like that. As far as how you handle arguments and disagreements, do you like to be left alone? Do you want me to, like, try to figure you out? Like, do you just need me to back away? Like, little things like that. Knowing how you handle stuff will allow me to know, all right, like, she just needs her time, or okay, that's a cry for help, or however you need me to move at that point. Like, I can understand how you are in certain situations, how you go about your goals, like how disciplined you are. Like, I'm a very fit person. Okay. So I feel like my significant other, I would like them to be fit as well.
But let's say she's not fit, then what?
I would want her to be open to the idea of going to the gym, because I feel like it's not just about going to the gym, but you can tell a lot about a person who goes to the gym. Like, there's a lot of things that doesn't need to be said. When you know somebody's disciplined in the gym, it already speaks volumes about who they are without you even knowing who they are.
Yes and no. You got some people that go to the gym for stress relief. Some people go to the gym to think. So, I mean, maybe the gym's not for her. Like, for her, it's just like, okay, it's cool for you. I do it because I reckon she loves you. But let's say she just want to go once a week. Would that be all right?
If she's on a healthy type of diet, that would be cool. That would be cool. I'm thinking long term. Okay. That it's gonna catch up to you over time, and I kind of want to be at the same, like, level, like, mentally, spiritually, physically, as my partner, because that old age is gonna catch you at some point, and I don't want to be the fit dad, and all these years of not going to the gym and eating crazy is catching up to you. So I would definitely want her to either be as consistent with me in the gym, or at least kind of managing her, what she takes and what she eats.
Okay, so I hear you say you want her to be there, mentally, but spiritually. Can you go into more about the spiritual part?
A relationship with God, I think that's very important. That's up there for me. That's in my top
okay,
qualities.
so let's say she knows God, but, like, she's not into, like, going to the church and everything. She doesn't care for church.
That is I'm trying to think. She doesn't go to church at all.
Nah. She doesn't believe in going to church, but
why doesn't she believe in going to church?
Well, for her, like, she just believes it may just be, it's all fake. It's all trying to brainwash you. So she will stay home, praise God, read the Bible herself, things of that nature. Would that be all right?
I don't see anything wrong with that, but there is also power in being in community, being around believers and being around the atmosphere. Um, Whether it's church or something else, maybe she got a group of friends or people like confidants she could like her like spiritual.
But you're a confidant. You go to church. So why she can't pray with you and learn from you?
Of course you can,
That's what I'm saying.
but that's not enough.
I mean, the Bible said, as long as there's two, he's there, right?
Correct, correct. You got a point, but it's also the company that she's keeping as well, the type of conversation she's having with the people outside of me.
So the brother,
That should all.
with sisterhood, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? Okay. Makes sense. So, if I would had to say, the woman for you would have to be someone spiritual. She believes in herself. She does not need you all the time. So her mental must be strong. Her faith must be spiritual. So let's get to the body.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you want her body. So
I like a natural body, man.
what's a natural body? Like what are the details of that?
No surgery.
But why? I mean, maybe she needs surgery.
For what? Like life or death?
Yeah, her health issue. Let's say like she's so big and she's gotta get slice of dice.
But then I wouldn't be, no offense, but I wouldn't have dated somebody like that in the first place.
So what about her face then?
What about her face? What does it need to look like?
Say natural, like so she can't put on no kind of mascara, no makeup.
Oh no, women gonna do that to the end of time.
Like a veil sticker.
That's fine. That's fine. But when it's like a constant, like every day, like you have to put it on, and like I can barely see without your makeup, that's when it's overdoing it, because now it's like you're hiding, like it's like you're hiding. You're not showing who you really are. Like you're hiding behind the makeup. And
So that just goes back to basically what you're saying. Your mental gotta be strong, your spiritual gotta be strong. Because if you always putting on all this stuff to try to hide yourself, that means you have some kind of like insecurities about yourself.
self-confidence. Yeah.
Okay. I can understand that. Makes sense. Why are you single still?
Why am I single? I haven't found the right person yet.
Did you ever find the right person?
I thought I did.
Please do tell.
I thought I did.
How long ago was this?
This was like, 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
I thought I found one, because they say when you know, you know. And
You know.
And you kind of don't know until you're in there, and it's like you think you know. But I knew. At that point in time, I knew.
Brother, you just confused the hell out of me.
I know I confused myself a little bit, but at that time,
you don't know,
like,
but then you don't know until you're there, but then you know.
because when you start thinking about it after the fact, it's like, did I really know? Because you're looking, you take the emotion out of it and the feelings and like the infatuation or whatever, like.
So basically, you're just telling me, you just take away all the season then. You just have just plain greens. Then.
Once you get a chance to look from the outside in and see things for what it is, it may be a different perspective.
Okay.
That's what I mean by that.
Well, let's go into detail. I mean, what happened?
So I was dating somebody. I met her at church, and we hit it off. We were together for it was less than a year, but I felt that I personally feel it's not about the amount of time that you're with somebody. It's like what you do in that amount of time. Because you could know somebody for 6 months, but you spend enough time with them, you're vulnerable with them, and it's like you've been together for 3 years because of what y'all do, what y'all talk about, like that type of thing. So I don't really put a timeline on like when like you can make things official or when to propose. Like I just go off of my instincts.
Just go with it.
I just go with it. If it feels good, or like I'll go for it. Because I don't ever want to have that thought of like, what if I didn't, or what if. I just do it, and I learn from it.
Seize the moment.
I seize the moment.
Nothing wrong with that.
So at that particular point, I had very strong feelings for her.
Okay.
And no time in my life that I ever think about proposing to anybody, yet alone going to the jewelry store, getting a ring, getting the blessing from the mom. I literally did all those steps. That thought never crossed my mind. So the fact that I was actually in the process and doing these things,
Okay.
it was like, yo, I'm for real about this. Like, I actually paid for the ring. Like, I actually, you know what I'm saying?
How'd you pay?
I don't want to say how much.
Please, I mean, we want to know.
The ring was a little bit over $5,000.
Oh shit, that's a lot, man.
But yeah, that's something that I want to do once in my life. So
Yeah.
I don't mind spending
Of course.
a lot, because that's like a symbol of my love.
Always.
I'd rather spend a lot of money on the ring than the wedding. Like, I don't really necessarily care. Like, I'd rather go on a 1 month vacation to Greece with you, or go travel the world with that money instead of feeding other people. But if my lady wants that, cool. But it's not a big thing for me.
I'm charging y'all. I'm gonna let y'all know. Right? If you don't send a good gift, you're gonna get a paper plate and some KFC. Dead ass. But go ahead.
But yeah, so I had very, very strong feelings with her. I was in love with her.
Okay.
Point blank period. I was in love with her, and I started putting myself in a husband mindset, because I
Please
like.
explain that right there. Husband mindset.
So once I knew I was gonna propose to her, I started doing things differently and shifting things in my life. I was living with a roommate at the time, and I was like, yo, mom's, like, let me stay with you for a little bit, because I'm trying to save some money, because I'm thinking about the wedding. I'm thinking about, yo, I gotta get a house at some point, because I'm trying to set myself up for the rest of my life. Because at this point, I'm thinking forever with this person.
So basically, what you put yourself in is like, it's
And
no longer about me.
mentality, right?
It's a we
Like,
thing
it's
now.
like I'm trying to build a family before it even happens, because I already know what I'm
You're
thinking of
visualizing.
right now.
Okay.
You know, so I'm thinking about the end. I'm like, yo, I gotta get my stuff together. I know I'm gonna have to get a crib, and I'm not that kind of dude that I'm gonna propose to you and we gonna wait like 3 or 4 years before. Nah, like, if I'm proposing to you, I'm ready to get married like right now. It's just giving people notice. Like, that's all I need time for, and the money.
Okay.
So I moved back in with my mom's. I traded in my car. At that point, I was paying like $800 for my car. I was driving a 5 Series BMW. I downgraded to a Honda. And this is all stuff that, like, I didn't really care about the materialistic stuff. I'm just like, yo, I need to make certain moves as a man, because I need to take care of my woman, and I need to think long term. So I started downgrading, doing all these things, and just putting myself in position so that I can support not only myself, but I can support her as
Okay.
well. And so, like I said, I got the blessing from my mom. I had a trip planned to Bali, Indonesia, where I had this whole thing planned where, like, we were gonna do a photo shoot, and then I was gonna turn around and pull the ring out, and like I had the photography. It was a whole setup that I had planned, and we were getting into like disagreements or arguments before the trip.
Okay.
And she had actually like ended things with me prior to going on the trip.
Okay.
And
Why?
Like I said, we was getting into just arguments about different things, like things that I saw, things that she didn't like, and it was just all kind of coming
Like
clashing together.
Okay.
And her best friend, I understood why she did it, but she kind of told her that I was gonna propose to her as a way to kind of fix things. Like, girl, like, don't break up with him. Like, he's thinking about this. He's just under a lot of stress.
Yeah.
Which I was, and maybe that was a part of my reaction at that point. With her. Who knows? But once she knew that, before the trip, she had asked me if I was gonna bring the ring on the trip. And at that point, like, as a man, it's like, you're not supposed to ask me that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't ask a man that. And
Yeah, I told y'all.
that it threw me way off, because like, it's supposed to be a surprise, and that was just like a signal to me to not bring the ring. So we continued the trip. Like, I left the ring at home because I didn't want to be tempted, because I know if I would have brought the ring, like, I probably would have ended up doing it.
But I don't know. I mean, it could have still been like a surprise, because she really didn't know when the ring's gonna pop out.
Right, it could have. And the funny thing is,
because how you made it sound.
right,
It sounded some real, like, Romeo type stuff, man. That sounded great.
it was. And when we actually went to the waterfall where I was gonna actually do that because we still had the photo shoot. I had all of that planned.
So you had the photo shoot at the waterfall.
It was already planned, so we still did it. So once she knew I was gonna propose to her, I already told her everything. I was like, yeah, it was gonna be at the waterfall. Da, 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 da. I just told her everything. So we still did it though, because I'm not gonna waste the photo shoot money that I paid. So we still did it, and just out of curiosity, I was like, yo, what if I would have bought the ring right now and I proposed to you? What would you would have said? And she was like, I probably would have said yes. And I was like, and it kind of like stung me a little bit because I'm like, damn, like did I make the right decision? Should I have bought the ring? Should I have not? And I mean, it turned out to be the right decision.
Okay.
About a week or two after, we ended things, or she ended it with me. So yeah, once we got back, about a week or two after, we kind of ended things. I can only speak on, like, it takes two to tango, so I can only take responsibility for my part in the whole situation.
Okay.
And I know there were certain things of me that my communication wasn't that great.
I think most men have a communication problem.
So I would hold a lot of stuff in, and I wouldn't vocalize it. And I think that was one of the things where, like, I didn't vocalize it until it was close to being too late type of thing. But that's like I said, that's on me. Like, obviously, there's things on her side.
But like you ain't speaking for her. You speak
right.
for
I can only speak for me.
Okay.
But we did take a course from our church. It was called SYMBIS. It stands for Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts. It's like a Christian thing. Like when you're thinking about getting married, you kind of know about each other and do like different courses and each other's personalities and stuff like that. And just going through that process, it taught us like a lot. And like the second or third week, we were doing a project together, and then that's when it kind of hit the fan, and we were doing a course together, and then it kind of got heated, and then it just after that it was done.
Yeah.
But
makes sense. Partnership and work up heads. It's always a sign, like.
Yeah, most definitely. Definitely learned that relationship taught me a lot. It taught me a lot as far as like myself and just being more open as far as communication, but also like what I'm looking for in a significant other. When I was telling you earlier, how do you argue? There were certain traits that I don't like
the cussing.
That like the cussing, the shutting down, like. I like to talk about stuff. Like if we get into beef or
like you want to talk it out.
I want to talk it out like right then and there versus
trying to just sit down trying to figure out what's wrong with you.
You being able to not talk to me for 2 days, that's a problem. Like if you're okay with not talking to me because you're upset for 2 days, that's a problem. And I don't want to be in a partnership like that where you feel that that's okay to not speak to your person for more than a day. You know what I'm saying?
I believe that.
Because then it's like when we get married, is that how you're gonna act? Like you're kind of showing me now how you're gonna be later on, and habits are very hard to break if you're not like working on them every day.
Of course, it's been there for years. So, I don't think no one try to find someone that's gonna be always like fussing with you, shutting down. Because I mean, me personally, I want to talk things out.
Same.
I'm trying to like understand your mindset, what's the problem, what's wrong. But at times you got some partners, they just get in their feelings, and you got some who really they just can't control it. So they start cussing, they raise their voice, and then it kind of causes the man or the woman, I guess, to lose too. But like, well, who the fuck you talking to? Like
It's all ego.
And so they people start screaming at one another, and now there's no communication. So like everybody's mad right now. So yeah, I think everybody looks for someone we can actually sit down and have a civilized conversation and see what the problem is. That's good. So anything else like for Godspeed? So what's the big plan for Godspeed?
Just continue putting the word out, getting the message out. I kind of want to do more things like as far as like locally, like tapping into the church more, or like doing youth stuff, or maybe putting up money behind a team or something like that. But I just want to get more hands-on, like with the community, like and embed the message into
what part? Like where?
We're adding like Florida.
Yeah, like Dade County, Broward, Palm Beach, what?
I'm open to wherever, but I guess I would start with like Dade and Broward County. That's closest to me right now. So you're just tapping in more into the youth and the culture out here, and just doing events sponsored by Godspeed, or maybe doing like a homeless, like feeding the homeless thing sponsored by God, like doing stuff like that.
So basically trying to put that back into the community.
Yeah, and also spread the message at the same time.
What would no major the way you are, like adventurous, brave, exciting, just trying new things and things like that.
I caught the travel bug, or let's say adventurous bug. When I think my first really dope trip was to Costa Rica, and I went whitewater rafting, like water power rappelling, and just being in a whole nother country and experiencing the culture. I was like, yo, this is different than Florida. Like, I meet so many people that they're like in their 40s, 50s, and all they know is Florida. And I'm like, man, like if you only knew what else exists,
you have
a whole different perspective. Like that changes you. Like sometimes you're not where you want to be at because you haven't seen. Like you can go to another country and you see how they're living, and that inspires you so much, and you're like, man, I need to be great. And you come back to the U.S. and you go crazy just off of you experiencing. Like you just never know what that thing is, and it might take you going into another country or another culture to see that, but you're not gonna know because you're stuck here.
You're stuck here around the same old crap,
same old things, same old people, same old, going to the club. Like I don't really go to the clubs. I barely go out. Like I'll go to the club in another country, but not here.
I haven't been to the club in years. I don't know the club look like. Same old two stuff to me.
It's the same thing. But if I'm out somewhere else, like when I was in Colombia, I went to the club. But I'm in another country. I'm experiencing.
It's different. Yeah,
it's different.
Like lifestyle.
I'm experiencing how they club and how they like their
it's
culture.
Totally different.
Totally different.
Totally different. It's like going to the
different
clubs. Totally different. Like what the hell?
So what I would say to everybody is like go travel. Like yes, it costs money. That's the biggest thing people think of when they travel.
Save though.
But save.
Plan for it.
And my thing is like those memories. I've never regretted a trip ever. As many places that I've been, not once have I said, man, I spent too much money on that trip, or man, I shouldn't have went on that trip. It's always like, man, that was a dope trip.
Basically, how the dope does be feeling. I mean, I'm not trying to sit there and say be a dope dealer.
Yeah.
That's if like you get locked up. Hey, you got plenty of stories how you live. You went for it, but let's do it the right way. That's all I'm saying.
And even if you gotta go by yourself, because I know like us, I'm gonna say us, the like black people, like we try to plan trips with each other, and then it's like everybody got this whole game plan, and then people start backing out, and then you was waiting on them to put in money, and then now you can't go. I be going by myself. 70-80% of the time I travel, I go by myself, because I started getting tired of waiting for people to come with me so I can go have fun and live my life. So a lot of the times I go solo, and I'm not afraid to go solo, but it's I would love to go with people, but it's like sometimes you just can't. You just gotta go.
Same thing in business. You cannot wait on people. You be waiting on people forever. It doesn't work out. So sometimes you get to just jump and go, handle your business. So I appreciate that, Abe.
Yes, sir.
Telling us how it
Appreciate
was.
you for inviting me
Oh
on,
man, you got to come back for part 2 of this, man.
Yes, sir. Part 2. You got me nervous in part 2, man.
Right.